Where's that real love? That true love? That die hard love? That if I fell off tomorrow, would you still love me? If I didn't smell so good, would you still hug me? Where's that love? What about that DMX love? Is you with me, yo? Like, what happened? Like, where's that double text love? That I might call you like 3 times. That stay on the phone all night love. That shit make you really connect with your partner. In today's time, everything gets so short-lived, and we gonna talk about it. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm so tired of using this type of terminology because we be throwing these terms around. I'm not even gonna hold you. But it's really good that we're able to identify like what's what, instead of just, observing a certain behavior pattern and not knowing what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But because we're able to identify it, now we're able to combat it. So that's good in a way. You know what I'm saying? But unhealed emotional trauma wounds, I feel like, is one reason why relationships don't last in today's time. For example, some people have unhealed childhood wounds, previous relationship wounds. You get what I'm saying? And I get it. We're not going to always be healed 100% before we move into the next relationship. I feel like that's unrealistic in my opinion. I feel like nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? So you might have some slip ups here and there. But, at least be at like a good 90% healed. You get what I'm saying? But I do feel like this like generation is afraid of having their unhealed trauma triggered. And I say that from experience. Like I said, I was talking to one guy. He was telling me about how he had abandonment issues, right? Because I had blocked him. I'm not even going to hold you. But I blocked him because I have anxious attachment issues. But the difference was I was willing to compromise and he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? That's where I feel like the next one comes into communication styles. I feel like in this generation and in this day and time, people are afraid to be vulnerable in what they need and want. So they just go ghost. You know what I'm saying? They just go ghost. Like, I'm not about to tell you that I need more love and affection. Like, what? I'm not about to tell you that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it do make you feel a little vulnerable. I think for me, I'm just used to it because I've been in a long-term relationship. So I don't mind telling you like, hey, I need to communicate more because this is not like, I don't know. You might know exactly what you need, but you may not communicate it because you're afraid of rejection. You know what I'm saying? They might tell you like, I'm not doing that, or they might show you, which hurts even worse, right? I'd rather know. Fear of rejection. You might feel like you being too much in what you asking for. You might just expect someone to know, which like people don't read minds. You know what I'm saying? Like, the last guy I was talking to, I couldn't, like, I always be figuring these guys out, but I just couldn't. I just couldn't. I'm not God, okay? I just couldn't figure that one out. I ain't even gonna hold you. You know what I'm saying? And some people just don't know how to communicate. Sometimes people come from a household in which they don't communicate things. They just move on. That communication style where like something may happen, the biggest elephant in a room, honey, and they just move on as if it never existed, or just sweep it under the rug. Or you know what I'm saying, they may have they offended somebody, or you've been offended, whoever been offended, and instead of apologizing, they might just go out and buy gifts. Some people don't know how to like sit down and talk about what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a big thing, And because of that, I feel like people go ghost, right? They go ghost. They don't, because they have their needs. They know it's not like, this why I kind of like Pop the Balloon, because they be in the line explaining like, hey, like, This is what I need. Like, I need this. Like, this is what I need. This is how I am. Like, I need this from my guy or girl, whatever the case may be. That's why I like pop the balloon. I ain't even gonna hold you. You know what I'm saying? I think that's so important. And I feel like you do, or you should, or you're supposed to do that during the courting, dating stages. And guess what? I also feel like that's dwindling down because the hookup culture is so prevalent. Oh my gosh, it's so prevalent over that. Like, taking your time and getting to know someone, that's, you know, it's not non-existent. It's just it's like very rare. I feel like people move really, really fast. With the last guy, the nigga told me he loved me. I was honest. I am very honest. And I told him, I said, I have a lot of love for you, but I wouldn't necessarily say that I love you. You know, and I told him, I said, that takes time. You know what I'm saying? But back to what I was saying about the hookup culture. I was just talking to someone recently about how people just move really, really fast. Sometimes you might go out with someone, hang out with them, talk to them, you like them, y'all move fast, let's be together. Of course, what's going to come with that? And I ain't even going to hold you. Like, I know some people don't really think about it this deep or whatever, but I do believe that sex is very spiritual. Why do you think people be wilding out? Why do I be wilding out? Because sex is very spiritual. Like, you know, once you do the do with people, okay, and some people do the do with people, and you know, they're able to detach. Okay, no judgment zone here. That's your thing. But some people is not at that stage yet. Like, they just didn't get there yet because they probably maybe didn't have a lot of experience. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like that's pretty okay because you still feel and you're still conscious, you know, of the fact that, dang, I'm giving my body away to this person, you know. I do expect, because of that, like, that symbolizes I'm very close. I felt comfortable and I felt safe enough with you, and you know, I do expect you to show up in certain ways, and when you don't, that hurts. Some people are able to just get over it because they're used to it, but some people who are not used to that hookup culture, they not, you know, they're not over that shit in 2.5. You know what I'm saying? And then you know, some people don't understand that. You know, they don't understand that. And yeah, just wanted to add that in there. I feel like it does progress things like really, really fast. You know, I'm not knocking some people. I do believe in love at first sight. I do believe sometimes you just find that person, but I feel like that's very rare. So to be on the safe side, I feel like you should take your time. You know what I'm saying? I do feel like it's very important to take your time and get to know someone. You know what I'm saying? Get to know someone. Really have those deep conversations. Oh, I'm a sucker for that, baby. Really have those deep conversations. Those getting to know conversations. Like, I love telling the person, yeah, I don't like this, or this is how this is what I need. Like, and back to the hookup culture thing, I think that it's so easy to go ghost because people have just various amounts of options. And that intertwines with the fact that, you know, the morals in men and women is so shot. I've talked to a lot of guys and they're like, and I understand, right? No judgment zone. You know, people are grown. They're going to do what they do. Sometimes beautiful things come out of things that just move quick in the beginning, right? It's just rare. You get what I'm saying? So I think it's wise to get to know the person a lot or a little bit more. Or, you know, speaking from today's point, if you do end up moving a little fast, just make it that one time so you can get to know the person. I think that's so important. I'm just being honest here. You get what I'm saying? But and another aspect of, you know, unhealed trauma wounds, fear of commitment. I feel like people be so scared to commit to one person because they don't trust them. With the hookup culture and everybody just ghosting and being able to tend back to the roster and just move around and there's so many options. You know what I'm saying? They like, why would I commit to this one person and possibly get my heart broken to pieces, right? When I can go back here to Shonda, Rhonda, and whoever else, and a mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, they might really, really, really like a person. I hear about this about guys too, but I'm trying not to make this a man-woman thing. But I hear this a lot about guys. Like, they'll like a girl so much, but they just so afraid to commit to her because they don't want to, um, you know, just put all of their eggs in one basket, and possibly get hurt. I've actually heard of a couple females being that way too, but I feel like it's more of a man thing. Fear of commitment. Like, now I gotta cut the roster off. Like, what if I cut off all, my access buddies, and then like you play me out? Now I'm gonna be left alone. So I do feel like fear of commitment, which also stems from unhealed trauma because you have trust issues, right? You're afraid that you're going to get hurt, so you don't want to commit. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It goes back and forth. So, but it's just so much. Let me just paint another picture here, right? It's so much benefit in just committing to one person. Like, you end up staying together for long. If you believe in marriage, you get married. Even if you don't believe in marriage, but you get to build together, right? It's not all about economical things. It's not all about that. I mean, me personally, when it comes to relationships and stuff, my brain don't be there. I really look for love and compatibility and chemistry and stuff like that. However, with that comes like economic stability. So why wouldn't you want to commit to one person? Like, you got the chemistry, the love, all of that, right? Along with the materials too. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a blessing to have that, union, that healthy union. But I do feel like, it's important that we take the necessary steps to do those things. Like, so that's my take on why I feel like relationships don't be lasting in today's time. Tell me what you think. I know marriages is another ball game. You get what I'm saying? That would be a whole nother video in itself. I never been married, but based off of this, like, everybody getting a divorce, I don't know. When I say a successful marriage, I mean like you're together right now and you still happy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or you still, I know that y'all gonna have ups and downs, but y'all still in love. Like, I know of a lot of people who got divorces, and then the people who are with their partner right now, like, they probably like, it's probably like stone wall. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. That's a whole nother video in itself. But, comment your opinion below and, share some other point of views. Like, subscribe, and you guys have a wonderful night or day.